yourself.
Sure. My name is Bryan Moss, Town Meeting Member, Precinct 8, 16 Ruthven Circle. So first I wanted to extend my thanks to the hard work of the Master Plan Steering Committee. And just wanted to get before the Planning Board just to request an addition to the Master Plan, a topic that could be included. It kind of fits in with what was talked about tonight about the interconnectedness. So I thought that was a very good point to make, that Master Plan is something that needs to take into account the interconnectedness between social, economic, environmental issues. And one of the things that as I was driving here, I heard on the radio, which will lead into what I was going to request, but today, Mayor Walsh announced that the City of Boston received an international award at the UN Climate Change Conference, COP21, that's going on right now, for its leadership in tackling climate change. They actually did that by having a climate action plan. So that's the actual item that I'd like to request be included into the master plan. We have open space plans, we have development committee plans, so I was thinking, and I have examples of where climate action plans fit in to a master plan. And what a climate action plan does, or this honor does, it honors their community's shared commitment to leaving a better Boston for the next generation. It is global recognition for demonstrating top policies and programs that reduce emissions. They have 25% by 2020, 80% by 2050, and improve sustainability. So that's kind of what they were honored for. The Climate Action Plan lays out steps that all citizens can take to reduce the causes of and to prepare for climate change, and gives the community a framework for building a greener, healthier, and more prosperous city. That was what Mayor Walsh, that was in the release that the city did today. The Climate Action Plan helped, and Worcester actually, next door, they actually finished and completed a Climate Action Plan in 2007. So their Climate Action Plan helps Worcester be less wasteful in its energy use, also saving money and making better use of taxpayer dollars, and helps to attain the renewable energy goals and support the generation of renewable sources of energy, thus contributing to a more reliable, safe, and secure energy supply. That's what's listed on the Worcester site for their Climate Action Plan.
Okay.
So just try to put that into perspective. I would like to request that get added to the master plan.
Would that be an implementation item, or would that be part before implementation?
So if you look at the examples that the master plan steering committee looked at, as they looked at Burlington, Vermont, Northampton, and another town I can't remember off the top of my head, but those did have master plans. So, for example, Burlington, Vermont's master plan would reference a climate action plan. So I think, and in asking for that addition, you could say we want to implement a climate action plan, and then it's actually the details would be laid out in through the implementation plan, the content of it. And there's plenty of examples of climate action plans out there throughout the state of Massachusetts itself.
Can I respond to that, Mel?
Please.
I think that one of the things that you're possibly thinking of is, like, we had the open space plan that we actually incorporated into our master plan.
Yep.
And at this juncture, after 2 years, this is kind of a final document. I think that what you're talking about is something that would be a separate document that would be maybe for the next iteration. And I applaud your efforts for it. I was also listening to the commentary about Mayor Walsh and what they're doing in Boston, and I think it's a great idea. But I think, if you would have come to us maybe 2.5 years ago, I'd be all over it. But it's a little late in the game, I think, for that. Well, I don't want to go back to the drawing board. I can tell you that, and I know everybody over there in the committee probably feels the same way.
Could I
anyway,
respond to that?
Well, no, I'm just saying that's what I think, and nope.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
All right, so this is more implementation than anything else. So why don't you submit a document? Why don't you submit a document, much of what you just presented tonight, to the steering committee to present to the implementation committee, and then they can get started on it.
I guess my only concern is, how do you implement it? You implement it through the building codes, and you implement that. I think it's an admirable goal, but you're not going to change the building codes have changed dramatically. As someone who's in the process of building a house right now, yes, these are the new materials and the requirements are green, certainly green friendly, certainly a better product today, but I don't know how you implement that without changing our zoning bylaws, changing the building codes. It's an admirable goal.
They use the step-up program. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but there's a existing step-up building code that you would have to go through town meeting and say, we want to enact the step-up building code. And then it gives like a 6-month period of time. And that's just a piece of it, though. That's just a piece of what may come out of a climate action plan.
Okay, I guess as a devil's advocate, I would say, just based on my experience, to impose these requirements, it's kind of at odds with another requirement that we're looking for affordable housing, because certainly these requirements drive up the cost of construction significantly, and probably to the detriment of building more affordable housing, which is another area that the town desperately needs. I don't know how you balance those. It's an admirable goal, but you push one way and something's coming at you the other.
It's a good question. It actually helps save money in the future. So when you do the step-up code, you actually insulate more in the beginning, so your initial investment actually saves you more money over the long term because you're actually doing it then instead of later when you have to retrofit to deal with it.
Mr. Moss, I will also say that in the master plan, we've had a lot of concentration in redevelopment in mixed use. So people are there's a bus line, there's more mass transit. I mean, they're going to have a high-speed rail in Worcester, so people aren't on the car or in their cars. And to your point, you drove your car here. So, I think that's one of the key elements that we've already incorporated in this plan is, bike trails, more friendly recreational use, which is a lot of what I think you're also talking about. So I don't know how much you've actually read in the plan, but I think that we've done a really good job incorporating it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I believe you did, too. I think you did a great job. I think, like John had mentioned, that it's a living document. So that's one of the things I wanted to make sure, as we give these ideas or when you look at climate change, as you look at a Paris conference right now, the leaders of the world, they're talking about climate change. Not every town, not every city has been looking at this, right? There's kind of leaders in that space. So you look at Boston or Amherst or Cambridge that have done it before, but now is kind of a time when it's in front of us. The challenge is in front of us. So that's why I wanted to bring it forward now, and maybe I, didn't bring it forward 2.5 years ago. But as a item in the Burlington, Vermont, they have a very small section, so it's not a redo of this. I think everything here is. I think you did a great job. I think the committee did a great job. The citizens did a great job putting information in there. This is more coming in saying, for that interconnectedness or for this new information that we have on climate change, we could incorporate that like Burlington by adding a section or something that says to implement a climate action plan to be determined by the implementation committee. There's plenty of examples of that. So definitely not a rewrite, definitely not to change content in this document. It's more of a let's look at what's in front of us and what we want our town to be, and that might help.
Mr. Moss, thank you very much.
Good. Thank you. Thank you for listening.